Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Danny and today we are going to build a bar. So this felt very appropriate because in my life right now I have been both doing a job hunt and succeeding in a job hunt because I wanted to leave where I was working and I found a job downtown at one of my favorite breweries, and so I'm going to be working there soon, which is super duper sick. I'm very excited for it. And also, in addition to that, over the weekend, I went down to Cincinnati to visit my friends, and we did a brewery tour there of Rheingeist, if you are familiar, which is super cool. I've always wanted to go there. It's in this giant, beautiful historical building. There was actually like a dinosaur skeleton there. It was so big. We went on a tour of their facilities, and the guy was like joking that apparently some guy who was both a fan of their beer and someone who had access to a dinosaur skeleton saw that they tweeted that their tap room was so big that they could fit a dinosaur in it. And so he gave them a dinosaur. I don't know. It was really crazy. But anyway, so I wanted to do something kind of inspired from all that just because I've been surrounded by beer culture even more than usual recently. I figured I'd do kind of like a little homage to it. I'm a little bit bummed out. The one thing I originally wanted to do was make kind of like the front part and this part with the glass ceiling, like the tap room, quote unquote, of this building, like the actual bar area. And then I wanted to make the rest of it into kind of like, beer brewing facility. And so I did a lot of experimentation with just like moving or sizing objects up and just moving them around. And there was this one milk pail that seemed really promising, but it just, I don't know. I couldn't make it work and look good enough that I was pleased with it and wanted to put it out there. So I ended up just making it blank, which I can understand if you're like kind of bummed out by that. I mean, I am too. So if you feel like you can do a good job on it, feel free to do it, re-upload it. I'd love to see it, but I don't know. I think it's kind of fine, especially because that part of the build wouldn't really be usable anyway. It's not like beer brewing is a trait or not a trait, a skill in The Sims anyway, so whatever. It didn't work out, kind of bummed about it, but also the more I player tested it, the more I was like, this is probably fine. I'm not actually that worried about it. So this build actually is heavily inspired by another brewery here in Columbus, just lots of breweries, called Seven Sun, which is one of my favorites. I actually turned 21 there. It's got a special place in my heart. And they've been doing all kinds of expanding recently. They used to kind of just be like, if you can look at this build kind of for reference, because this is essentially what their building looks like, is what I made. Obviously with a lot of tweaks, but they originally were kind of this like green part, just like a little L shape, and they didn't put out a lot of beer, but the beer that they put out was really good. And eventually, this past summer they expanded. They added this huge add-on that's like this giant industrial building on the back of it, and that was why I wanted to base it off of Seventh Sun, because I figured that huge industrial part of it would look so right in this area. Because I don't know, I've been like playing with making a lot of different things in this lot, because I don't know, I built this other coffee shop and I was really pleased with it, and then it was really hard for me to follow up that. And I think this is perfect. I don't know, I think it totally suits the area. It looks industrial enough that it fits in. I also had a lot of fun. There's a lot of little knickknacks from cats and dogs that are like old tattered posters that I've never seen before, because I guess I just never really used them in my builds, and I used those on the sides of the building, and I was really pleased with how it looks, because it kind of just looks like, oh, maybe this old warehouse part used to be for fishing. I don't know, I think it looks great. So yeah, we're just moving up forward. Oh, you know what? I think we already passed it, but I wanted to comment. There's this door that I was like playing with putting on, because you can see like I wanted one door on this diagonal part and I wanted one door on this side part, right? And so I wanted to use the same door. And I tried to put this one door and the door changes depending on whether or not it's on a diagonal surface. And maybe I'm super late to the party, but I've never seen that before. And so I was like, you probably saw it earlier in the video. I was just like, what? Why is it changing? It was so weird. And it being inconsistent like that bothered me just enough that I didn't use it. But I don't know. It was crazy. And I mean, I know that a lot of like the windows and doors have slight adjustments if you use them on a diagonal, but there's like literally like side windows attached to the door when it's on a diagonal. It's like so different. It's very strange. But yeah, I don't know. A little fun fact for you. Also, get a load of this table. I was fucking into it. I don't use picnic tables very often in my builds, and when I do, you know, I feel like I always use the same one. But this one, I think, oh man, it might have been from Jungle Adventure, I want to say, but it's got like kind of like the moss growing on it, and one of the swatches has like people kind of like shittily carving things onto the top of it, and I was like, that's so perfect. That is the perfect picnic table. I loved it. I was so psyched about it. So I used it. You know, it might be my favorite picnic table. I'll say it. I'm not afraid. Oh, also, so again, drawing inspiration from Seven Sun, they have, you know, food trucks there because they don't actually like serve their own food. And they usually have just like a food truck roll up on the side, and it's like a different one every day of the week. And so I was like, oh, you know, I could try to do something like that. So I put in one of the food stalls, and it's a little bit annoying because when you're playing, you have to hire a worker. But I don't know. In my brain, I was like, I'll just like give my sim that money back because I feel like it's justified for there to be, you know, a person working this food stall. So I don't know. You could mess with it yourself, but I thought it worked really nice there, you know? And I put a lot of different little like bar games, and I put a little fire pit. It's just cute. You know what? It's just cute. I'm sorry if you can hear it in the background. My cat decided, you know, right now she wants to leave my room, which is perfect timing. So she scratched at the door. So if you can hear that, that's what that is. But she just gonna have to be patient because my microphone is not that long. You're good. But yeah, anyway, so like I said, went down to Cincinnati, and that was super cool. I don't know. So I'm originally from Cincinnati, so it was interesting going because, like, even though I'm from there, I was from like a suburb outside of it. So I never really had a lot of experiences downtown, except for if I went to like a baseball game or like an event, you know what I mean? Like I wasn't super familiar with it. So it was a really cool experience going like as an adult and like getting to go around to the bars and actually like experience everything. I don't know, it was cool. And also it was just like, I don't know, I felt a lot of pride in my city, you know, it's mine because I've never been there before. But no, it was cool. I had a really good time, and I got to visit my buddies, which is always just so nice. It makes me smile, like, knowing that even, like, as you drift apart from your friends in your adult life, the moment you see them again, you're just, like, right back where you started. And I don't know, I just felt like a kid on Christmas hanging out with all my friends. It was just real nice. So, I don't know. Sorry that this is out a little bit later than I wanted to, but I was hanging out with my friends, you know what I'm saying? So, I don't know. I think it's worth the wait. And I don't know. So this is a little peek behind the veil. This is like the third video that I like tried to make to release this week. And it's the first one that I felt okay with wanting to put out. I made 2 different houses before I made this. And I think I'm discovering the longer I do this YouTube thing that I just don't really like making houses in The Sims 4. I like making community lots. This is way more fun for me. It feels so much more intuitive. I just feel like I can be more creative. And that's never something that I've noticed about myself before, because it's like I've made plenty of houses in my day, you know, like I don't know, but I think the way that I like making houses is different and doesn't necessarily lend itself to YouTube. I think it's a very rags to riches mentality. Like, I don't know, I like starting with one sim and then building up their fortune and like making them have a family. And as they have more money, I'll build their house. But just like building a house for like faceless sim, you know, like, you know, not a sim that I have any attachment to, I have a lot harder of a time getting behind it. I don't know, have any of you guys experienced that? I've seen a couple different people on YouTube like make families specifically for their houses, and I've like tried to do that a little bit, and it definitely does help, but I don't know, it's interesting. It's interesting learning about myself and my preferences from doing this a lot more and actively than I used to. So I don't know. Just thinking about that. Just me and my thoughts, you know. But yeah, so here is the upstairs tap room, and I was actually really pleased with this. The only thing I will say about this is I noticed, at least in my gameplay, when the bartender shows up to this lot, they will go to this bar and not the downstairs bars, which I didn't really have a problem with, because you can always like hire on another bartender, or you can moonlight yourself, you know, like it's fine. But just keep that in mind, you know, that's where the bartender will be. And also rest assured, if you're watching this and you're like, oh my god, Danny, you know, a bartender can't get behind that bar, you didn't make it right. You're right. Before I put it on the gallery, I reshaped the bar a little bit so that the bartenders can fit in and out and use the bar. So rest assured, it's a-okay. But yeah, I went ahead and put this like, I messed around with this a lot, this kind of like plant wall. What I kind of was envisioning for this was like, maybe they grow their own like herbs there. Not that they probably would need that many if they're not, you know, actually serving food, but I don't know, it kind of seemed cute. So it's supposed to kind of look like it has like an irrigation system on it, but I don't know if you get that vibe. It looks cool either way. That was just kind of what I was envisioning. Just put in like a little darts area. As pleased as I am with how the darts area looks, I don't think I would recommend it for real life, because I can just picture some drunk doofus just like accidentally hitting someone on that couch with their dart, you know what I'm saying? So I don't know. It's maybe not the most realistic thing, but I think it looks good. I'm happy that I was able to kind of use that nook behind the stairs. I think it looks real nice. As much as like I based the exterior of this build off of Seventh Son, it doesn't really look like this on the inside. It's pretty different. So this is all me. This is all out of my old noggin. What am I talking about? Oh my gosh. I'm very tired. I've been having like a lot of weird sleep patterns recently, so just bear with me. But yeah, I think that's just about all I wanted to say about this build here. Don't forget to like and subscribe and comment anything, good or bad, or mean or nice on the video. I don't mind. I love to hear your feedback. I prefer when it's good, but you know, I'll take it. But yeah, let me know if you have anything to say, and I'll see you guys next time I have a video out. All right, here's that sweet Will Wright on the ivories to take you out of this video. Bye-bye.